Is Elsie still on the call?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, so
Okay, so
handing over
mhm.
to you now, and then you're going to tell us about driving food security and innovation in Lagos, the key projects and your impact stories, the plans for the future of agricultural food systems in Lagos State. I mean, nothing to elaborate, but
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And good evening to everyone. I'm sure maybe the way people would have thought this hangouts would go, it's not the regular way. So, it may be a bit um disconcerting, let me put it that way, that the co-hosts decided to take us on this journey of trivias and just trying to make the hangout a bit more relaxed and in the balance or in the culture of how we try to do agri-innovation to make it as devoid of protocol as much as possible or to just remove any element of stiffness. So this is just maybe to apologize if it's not going the way some people think it will go. Even for me, I find it a bit like, okay, this is not the usual way that we do meetings and stuff like that, but I think it's actually very good. And I mean, breaking the ice. So just going quickly into what we have done as a ministry. I mean, I've seen a lot of people here, aside the Lagos Agri-Innovation Club members, I've seen a few farmers here that are stakeholders of ours. So I'm sure what I'll be saying will be nothing new. And then maybe to those who are probably joining from outside of Lagos and are not too um, versed with what we've done, it won't take more than a minute to just share, some of the initiatives and projects and activities that we have undertaken as a ministry. So as Fumi had rightly mentioned when she was reading out the profile, we are the Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems. Part of what we try to push or try to fulfill as part of our mandate is to ensure that we are more food secure. So we should drive up sustenance, and that is domestic production. At least our goal is to drive it to about 40%. That is still a long, long stretch, considering the characteristic traits of Lagos, whether be it by population, demography, location, and what have you. So we have a lot going for us. We also have a lot going against us. But I think as Lagos, um, there's a way our energy and our passion still helps to drive the ecosystem. But one thing is for sure, we can't feed our people alone by ourselves. And so that partnership with other states, with other localities is very critical to us. And so we don't take it for granted that we must work with others to ensure we have enough food in the state. So that is very critical. And so all we have been working towards in the last couple of decades under this administration as well of Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu is essentially producing for Lagos and producing in Lagos. So as a ministry, our initiatives have been tailored more towards production in Lagos. And so for that reason, the lack of the Onje Eco Farmer Subsidy Program, where we supported farmers in the poultry and fishery space, it was tailored to farmers had access to cheaper feed to help boost production, and so that in terms of the sale of their produce as well, it is slightly cheaper for the masses. What we have done in times past under the Agricultural Value Chains Enterprise Activation Program is also geared towards ensuring farmers have access to inputs for free. And for that reason also, the expected impact was to see lower pricing of or lower costs of food in our markets. What we did with the Onje Eco food discount market, which was one of a kind in Nigeria, was also essentially to drive subsidies of key food staples across the 657 local governments and LCDAs in Lagos and in a few of our academic tertiary institutions. And I must say that it was one of the most impactful initiatives that we ran as a government in ensuring that it was devoid of it was just devoid of bias, and it was open and transparent, and it also helped to boost our local vendors, our farmers, and those in the food value chain as a whole. What we are doing also around capacity building, we still have a lot of room for improvement in this area, because with increased technology advancements, with increased knowledge, also the gaps are widening between the haves and have-nots and knows and know-nots. So there are newer ways of doing things every single day. And so the need to close that gap is ever critical. And under our Lagos Agripreneurship Program, we have a lot of room to have more knowledgeable experts join us to help to teach our youth. We also have the Lagos Agri Scholars Program, which is tailored to our secondary school students, where I see Agri-City was on. I don't know if they are still here. We worked with Agri-City in helping to develop smart systems farm units in secondary schools and in some rehabilitation centers. And the idea is also to teach our young ones that you can apply technology in agriculture and you make it more attractive to them. You have the Lagos Agri-Innovation Club, which many are a part of. I think for me to still be one of the closest success stories to my heart, not by reason of what we did. We only catalyzed, but I think that the club has taken a life of its own, and to see people come together and doing fabulous things together, there's no better testament to the fact that in this ecosystem, we need one another. No one can run the agri-food space alone. Even abroad, you see collaboration. That is why farmer cooperative groups, farmer networking groups, they are a part and parcel of the development and the growth of the agri sector in this advanced climate. So here also we need to do the same thing, but do it in a very holistic and advanced way, such that everyone reaps the benefit of the networking and of all the benefits, that government can also bring to the table. We have several departments, we have several agencies in the ministries as well, and each of these departments and agencies, they also have their programs, they have their projects. We have the Lagos Cares project, which is in collaboration with the federal government and the World Bank. Appeals ended in 2023, but it was a very impactful project as well. We have the we have the L-Press coming up, which is a livestock resiliency project. We'll have RAMP coming up as well, which is rural agricultural access market project and what have you, which is in collaboration with ADB, which is the French Development Bank and the federal government. And we have so many projects like that. But the idea at the end of the day is that all of the levers that are critical to the sustenance and the growth of the sector, which will be capacity building, infrastructure development, technology utilization, access to market, access to funding, public-private partnerships, they are crucial. And these are areas where we will continue to push all of our resources towards ensuring that at the end of the day, we have a more food secure Lagos. When we refer to infrastructure, roads are part of infrastructure. Water, access to water is part of infrastructure. But what is very critical to us and what we have seen as a state is, as the largest market in sub-Saharan Africa, and I think that that word is, or that phrase is so cliche now, but the truth is the truth, and you cannot avoid the truth. We are that destination market for most products globally. And it is not far-fetched. The reason is demography, population, location. And these have worked in our favor. And for that reason, we understand our place in the value chain of food. And so we have looked at it as looking at our areas of competitive and comparative advantage, organizing our markets would do justice to all of the government interventions, be it federal or state. And so for that reason, we feel that organizing our markets would help us to ensure that in terms of flows of food into the state, production of food within the state, the data around it and the information management around it is holistic in a way that precision around interventions is the way for the future. And so we embarked on the logistics hub project, or the hub project, and that is where you have the middle level hubs, which is where you have Mushin, you have Abidjan, You have Agege, you have Okwebi, you have Bombata, Ikorodu will be coming up, same thing with Lekki, and I think Festac and Jeremy Felodo. And the idea is to have as all these hubs actually in every single local government across the state. And then you have the mother hub, which is the central logistics hub in Ekpe. And so we have seen that market infrastructure is key, and this will refer to storage, cold and dry. It will also refer to packaging facilities, and also the appropriate trucking logistics facility to habitate or to take on as many trucks bringing in food or distributing food across the state. And this is not far-fetched considering the fact that we have so much pressure on our infrastructure as a state. So when you look at places like Mile 12 or Ilepo or Sabo, and the kind of traffic you have around those areas, the kind of waste, food waste you see in markets, and then the exorbitant prices of food in Lagos, it tells you that we have to take action. It is not till we have another COVID or another epidemic or pandemic before we start to put structures in place to help our markets or to help our systems in a way that we have enough food inflows, we have enough food stored, and in cases where you have an emergency or a crisis, you still have access to food. And I think for me, it just goes back to the fact that, and this is maybe for Christians here, the Bible is never far from the truth. In fact, why should I say the Bible is the truth, and there's nothing actually new under the sun. All we are doing is replicating what Joseph did in the land of Egypt in the times of famine. Before the famine, he saw that there was going to be an issue. And so they built storehouses, warehouses, and they stored food for Egypt, such that when the whole world was groveling and graveling for food, Egypt could feed every other person. And by that reason, Egypt became extremely powerful. Our aim is not about power, but it's about ensuring that we have enough food for our people. And this is also because Lagos is still the epicenter of security, national security in Nigeria. If anything goes wrong with Lagos, you know that we'll have problems nationwide. And so if everything also goes right with Lagos, you know that you can also nip in the bud a lot of issues that could have gone out of hand. So we understand our place also in the entirety of the sovereignty of Nigeria. And so Lagos, under Mr. Babajide Olushola's Sanwo-Olu, we've taken it upon ourselves to pioneer this way forward, starting with the end in mind. Markets drive demand. Production does not drive demand. Markets show the need of the people, and therefore production should work with that need in mind. Desirability is the number one critical step in ensuring that the economics of all you've been working at, you can actually get the right returns for it. And we understand that. And being the commercial nerve center for the country, we are ensuring that we put that at the heart of all we're doing. So this is an assurance of farmers in Lagos. Whatever you produce, there is a place that would offtake it from you. There's a place where you can store this produce. You do not have to sell anymore at a loss because you don't have anywhere to store. There is a place that will store it for you, and you'll still get the right price for your products. Also, for those who are growing up country, there is a ready offtake market for you that assures that with the 500 billion guarantee offtake fund, whatever you produce, and as long as we've had a production contract, it would reach Lagos and you'll be paid your money. That way, there's also guaranteed pricing in place. And all of this is also to ensure that going forward, as a producer, before you produce, you already know your price point, you already know your profit margin, and that way you know that you can walk smiling to the bank with a particular amount in your pocket. As a logistics provider, you know how much you can make on every transaction within the chain. As a consumer, you already have a fair idea of what your prices would be when you get into the market. And that way, you can plan your salary properly and have enough savings still. So your average disposable income should be on the rise. For us as a government, it means we'll cater to less food waste. It means we'll have less in terms of food inflation. It means we'll have the right data to also be able to make the right decisions and, give the right support to production actors, to logistics providers, to warehousing within the chain. And at the end of the day, I believe that food security is the leg that holds this nation together, and the security of this nation together. So we understand our place, and these are some of the things that we have been working at. Some of it will take some time to mature and for us to see the fruits of it. But I pray that posterity will judge us well in the fact that we tried. We may not have given our best. If I ask some people on this platform questions right now, oh, have we served you well? Obviously, there'll be there'll be quite a number of buts and ifs, and I know that we can only do the best we can under the circumstances we're in. So we know ourselves as a ministry, there's a whole lot of room for improvement. When you talk about, let's say, land and land allocation and everything behind land in Lagos for agri, we have issues there, with no doubt about it. But that is something we've been working at. For the initiatives we have also that I've also reeled out here, we have laws that are currently in the House of Assembly. We are awaiting the passage of the bill so that this can be effected into law, and that way it also protects all of this hard work that we've worked on for the last couple of years. And so we will hope to be able to continue to serve you well. Like I said, we are not perfect. Everything we are doing is work in progress, and that is why we continue to open our doors to partners for suggestions, for feedback, for those who want to work with us and help us. But we hope that we have served you in the, well, I don't want to say we've served you in the best way possible, because I'm sure it could be much, much better. But we'll continue putting our best efforts to make sure that we help and we support and we all succeed together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, so we would allow for only 2 questions. So if you have a question, we have a lot of claps. Well done, ma'am. So we'll take only 2 questions. If you have any question for HC here and now. Okay, so someone is asking, is there room for employment for non-farmers?
Is there room for employment?
Yes.
Employment in what space exactly? And in what capacity?
Okay, so Azizat or Soya, you might want to expatiate on your question a little bit. Okay, so there's another question. Can farmers outside the state benefit?
Oh, why you say can farmers outside the state benefit? Definitely, that's why I mentioned that partnerships are key, and we don't take it for granted that we still need to have lots of our foods coming from out of state. So this is not just about Lagos. That's why it's called Produce for Lagos. We have Produce in Lagos, Produce for Lagos. So yes, farmers outside the state will definitely benefit out of this. And I believe in the next 1.5 weeks, we are starting our roadshow. So we're moving to some states to start to have the conversations around partnerships, and also visit some farms and see some production clusters and enter into production agreements with them for our food hubs.
Okay, so someone else is asking, do we have data of all farmers and farming clusters in Lagos?
So we have, so like I said earlier, we have all of the departments and agencies we have in the state. Every single department and agency has its own database. We are doing a harmonization exercise right now to ensure that we don't also double count or have issues where you have the same farmer in multiple data spreadsheets and bearing tweaked names, let me put it that way. So yes, we do have data. Now, this data, for it to be a living document, it has to also be constantly updated. We have farmers that have exited, we have farmers that have joined newly or have just become part of the ecosystem. So that constant update is a bit laborious, but we don't have a choice but to do it, which is why we also try as much as possible to work with associations and cooperatives, because we believe that they have a more effective system of having that data. So yes, we do have the data, but it can be improved upon.
Okay, ma. Can you take 1 or 2 more questions, ma?
Yes, please.
Okay. Is the sanitization of the Okoba abattoir in the plans of the ministry?
Is the sanitization of the Okoba abattoir in the plans of the ministry? Is that the question? Okay, so I don't know who asked that question, but I believe in the last 1 month, there have been massive changes at Okoba Agege. And that is not far-fetched, considering the hygienic practices or unhygienic practices there, and the several stakeholder engagements we've had over the years, and the need we saw to engage the Ministry of Environment in working with us to ensure the sanitization of that place. And I want to believe, no, not that I want to believe, I see that there have been drastic changes in there. There's still a lot of room for improvement, no doubt about it. But it is surely not the same Okoba you had 3 months ago, 6 months ago. So every day there's constant improvement. There's weekly sanitation, compulsory weekly sanitation exercises. Apart from the everyday cleanup that happens, there's also a lot of removal of the shanties within the space. With regards to where the cows or the cattle are slaughtered, there's a lot of cleanup that we have required and requested. We've also tried to push for the higher utilization of the mechanized and semi-mechanized slaughter slabs. And so it is a continuous work in progress. Desensitizing and reorientating our butchers and those who are in the meat slaughtering business is not the easiest job in the world, trust me, because this is something that is an ingrained cultural activity. And it is not just cultural alone, it is tribal, it is ethnic, and it is also religious. And so trying to shift people from a certain way of doing things, it is actually a very formidable challenge, and we've taken it on. It's going to be slow progress, no doubt about it, but we'll surely see the kind of improvements that we've always wanted to see. But it is on, so you can visit Okoba Agege and verify for yourself.
Thank you, ma'am. And then the last question. How can an individual invest in the Produce for Lagos program? What steps are involved in being an investor?
Okay, so I think for now, the website, if you visit the Produce for Lagos website, which is www.produceforlagos.com, I believe there's a column there that seeks for, if you want to, you can register. The registration is for different cadres. So you could be a farmer, you could be a logistics provider, you could be a warehouse owner, you could also be an investor, you could be a non-governmental organization, you could actually even be a government agency, depending on whichever state you are. All of this, there's an area for registration, and then I know that there's going to be a subsequent what you not necessarily shortlisting, but there's a criteria also that will be reeled out in the next couple of weeks and to the next steps as to how the fund is supposed to work. But if you visit the website, you will see the kind of information there for the first steps, and then subsequently, when you check your newspapers and your TV as well, we will be reading out what needs to be done going forward.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yes.
So for more information on Produce for Lagos, I dropped the website link in the chat box, www.produceforlagos.com. It's in the chat box for everyone. So back to my co-host for a quick fire question. Dumebi Oluwole.
Yes, I'm here.
Sorry, I think before, sorry, apologies, host. So I see that people have also asked questions in the chat, but I think for reason of time, what the co-host can help us with, if we can get these questions, we can have them, I can answer them, and then I don't know, because we have the specific people who have asked the questions, and maybe we can actually send the answers to them so that it doesn't look like they've asked and there's no one answering their questions.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I guess for me, we'll have to find a way to.
So yes, we have the Agri-Innovation team on here as well, Cecilia, Fatima. So we'll collect the questions, and then we have everyone's email, which is why the registration was important. And then so Etsy would answer the questions, and then we'll send it to you via email. I hope that works.
Yes, yes, it does. Thank you so much. I think just to make us laugh a little bit more before we say goodnight to ourselves. This is just a very interesting question, just for us to think about the kind of farming we'd like to do. It's just a would you rather. I've posted it in the chat box. So, would you rather manage a rooftop garden in Yaba or a rural farm in Ekpe? What would you like? Femi Asaji said Ekpe.
Like where I do, maybe be careful. Be careful.
Oh, it's sometimes you might want the vibe, where people will just stroll, probably take an elevator to see your rooftop garden, with vertical things. I think from everybody is saying Ekwe, I think I'm on my own with this question, to be honest. I don't even know. You see, there are people actually nobody said rooftop garden.
No, I'm with you.
Ekpe is
I
the
have a
place to
vertical
be when it
farm.
comes to farming.
I have a vertical farm in Ibejuleki.
See,
And it works out. It works out pretty well.
see, that's a vibe. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Then
the
Gibbs
vibe.
is looking for farm to do outdoor this thing.
Sorry, I didn't get you, Tracy. What did you say?
Gibbs is looking for a farm for us to do outdoor dates.
Oh, okay. Well, so you see, Mr. Faye Badiro, we could actually come to your farm. Please invite us. We're happy to come.
All right, yeah, I'm sure we can organize it. It'll be a cool experience.
Tracy, share you've heard. Tracy and Balkis, please, let's work towards this so we can see vertical farming and rooftop garden.
I don't mind though. Let's go to Ekpe. Fumi, Ekpe.
All right. So my next question, this one is just a simple one. Which do you prefer, chicken or turkey?
Chicken.
Most people prefer chicken.
Why is somebody saying fish?
I think I prefer chicken. Honestly, I think I prefer chicken. But the first time I had live turkey, oh my God, it was so good. Like not the turkey wings. This one, like the turkey was so good. So maybe we should have more of like the live turkeys. Maybe we should try to find a way to beat down the price so that we can buy it more. Let's have more turkey farmers. All right, I think for me, I'm handing back over to you. So that's a question to like again and get everybody.
Thank you, my co-host. So before we leave and say goodnight to everyone, so we've had the HC speak on something about the food systems, and something a little bit serious. So now we want her to go light on us. So we'll just ask one or two questions. So Etima, the first question is, tell us a funny thing that happened during Onjeko food discount market that literally made you crack up.
So the truth of the oh God. So Onjeko, PS, you are there, Abi? PS. Has PS left?
I'm here, ma. I'm here, ma.
Yes, you are there. Hey, thank you.
Let me share the one that made me laugh.
So maybe PS should tell the story. Yes.
You remember the last day when we said we are suspending the program?
Yes.
And somebody shouted, "Yeah, Ojetimo."
Yes.
That journalist that shouted that he had bought.
Yes, that he had bought food and that he needed to find somewhere to serve the food. So quite a number of things happened actually during that period. But I think for me, the should I say, well, I won't say life-changing ones, but I think the ones that really hit home for me, the very first week where we had put the program together and the feedback we had received, and then in trying to also readjust our strategy. And I think it was highly, highly emotional, in the sense that, trying to do something simultaneously in 57 locations in a situation where you didn't want to, or you wanted to avoid a stampede or people rushing and trampling over themselves and what have you. And so trying to think through of the scenarios that could actually happen, and then trying to work backwards to say we don't want this to happen. It was actually a very mind-numbing experience. I mean, we would be here in the office till 11, till 12 midnight, just trying to hatch out the plan. And then I remember at some point, it got so frustrating that I would scream, and there were literal tears, falling. And I'll be telling PS, screaming and shouting and all of that. And it is a time that I can never forget, because there were lots of sleepless nights for the entire team. And I think it is still one of the projects that I would say brought the ministry together as one. I don't think we've ever had a time, well, not that we've never, but doing something that everyone could feel the impact, not just locally. And when I say locally, I mean across the state, but even nationwide. And us knowing that we had a role to play. I don't think it was something anyone in the ministry took for granted. Even the cleaners, some of them were involved in Onje-Eko. The drivers, some of them were involved in Onje-Eko. And so we tried as much as possible to utilize people who would otherwise not be so busy. And people really appreciated it, that, they could also offer their own 2 cents. And I believe people came out the better for it. And we had lots of volunteers also in various local governments, people who just felt that, yes, this is an initiative that merits the support and assistance from the people. And so a lot of people actually showed up and showed out. People showed up for their communities. We had people who further subsidized what we did. And we had people who volunteered that time and effort to become policemen, trying to ensure that people stayed on the queue. People were not trying to rebuy after they have already bought what they should buy, and so on and so forth. So I think for me, a time I can never forget and a wonderful experience, in as much as it was bittersweet, would be the Onje-Eko Food Discount Market project.
Thank you, Ma. So my next question, what's your first memory with a farm crop?
My first memory with a farm crop, I think that would have been primary school, where they told us to put beans inside a tin and then watch it germinate and grow. That would be my first experience that I can recall. I mean, my dad had a farm. He had a poultry farm, and I know his best friend had a poultry farm then. And so being an agric lecturer then, I'm sure I must have been to the farms, but I just can't recollect the memory as such. But the one I can't forget is the bean. And because I put seeds myself into the tin in the soil and watched it sprout and took it back to school, I'll say that was my first experience with the crop.
Harvest?
Harvest what? They watch one bean harvest. No, they don't harvest nothing, no.
Okay, so my next question.
Yes.
The journey to becoming a commissioner.
Yes.
The experience you have now, is it what you anticipated?
The experience I have now, no. And that's because I never anticipated that I'll be here anyway. I think for me, it's still surreal. I think when my dad was commissioner, the secretary, then she visited me today in the office, and it was a bittersweet moment for me, because when I hugged her, the first thing I said, and when I was trying to introduce her to people, was to remind them that this was my dad's secretary then. And I remember telling her that who would have thought that those days when I used to come to the Ministry of Agri Block 1, that I would end up myself being in Alausa. It's not something I would ever have dreamt of. And I think for now, even I still need to pinch myself every now and then. For me, like I said, it's still surreal. I think it's a privilege to be here. I don't take it for granted. And trust me, the things I've learned here, for the years I've spent in the private sector, I think my learnings here have further consolidated my life experiences. The experiences in public sector, the experiences in private sector, they go hand in hand. You can't negate one for the other or say one is superior to the other. The learnings from Olam, from the private sector, from working in the construction business and what have you, I know I carried it over into this business of managing this ministry. And then at the same time, I know that the things I've learned in the public sector here, when this administration is over and then going back to private sector, I know that I'm still going to take a lot of learnings away from here. So trust me, it is always a work in progress. I'm still trying to be a better manager, a better leader, a better listener, and trying to be more patient with people. I can be very impatient. I'm trying to be less irritable. And so what I've also seen here is because of multiple stakeholders you have to deal with, it teaches you you need to be patient. And I think that is something that I really need to work on and take away from here. So there's still a lot of room for improvement, trust me, and I'm working on it. But this time in my life, I don't think it's something I would trade for anything. And I'm truly grateful for it and for all the wonderful, wonderful people that I have met, that I have worked with, that I have come across. And it's really been a life-changing experience.
Thank you very much. So my last question. Some
Yes.
have their hands up. If your question is typable, please drop it in the chat box. We will definitely respond. So my last question. How does it feel being the first female commissioner of agriculture and food systems in Lagos State?
Okay, so that first female, I'm being very honest now, and I'm not trying to be humble or anything. I don't look at it from that angle of first female or whether you're first male. The most important thing is, have you done the work? Gender, or using gender as a precursor to trying to, I mean, you can be the first female and not achieve anything, and then your tag is just first female. No, I don't believe in that. Just come here and do the work. Put aside the excuses and just do it. So I don't try to use that label of first female or first male. For me, I think it's irrelevant. So I don't think about it. I'm sorry.
Thank you, ma'am. So I'd like us to do something a bit radical now. So if you guys could unmute your mic and then we can clap.
We love you, HC.
Love you,
Three votes for HC.
We love you. We love you.
Say hi to the
So this should be a good time to do our coconut clap.
Yeah, the real deal. Let's see.
I can hear my team clapping. Ibilola, Mr. Tiola.
Yeah, we love you.
I can hear them clapping.
Ministry of Agriculture.
We love you.
We love you.
Hold on, my team members must come and wave to everybody.
We love you.
So,
Well done, man. God bless you.
thank you, sir.
We love you.
I saw Mr. Okel.
Yes, we love you.
Thank you, AC. Thank you, AC.
Balogun, who is saying thank you? Move away. Yeah.
We love you, man.
Unless I leave.
We celebrate you, PS. Mrs. Ibilola, we see you. We love you.
I know it.
Thank
What
you,
I know is that
Ministry of
AC is doing the job of 100 ministers.
How are you?
Last
How are you? I can see our love babies as well in the house. Fauzia, how are you?
I'm fine. Good evening, ma. Thank you so much.
Bettina is saying hello, HC.
Joy, where are our twin babies? Where are they? Hello. It's good to see everyone, and I just really want to appreciate the hosts Fumi and maybe for putting this together. It's not so much an ambush, but the way they have actually done this, I think it's fun. I think we'll need to do more so that other people too, we can learn more about them. But kudos to you guys and to all Agri-Innovation Club members. I don't think we have a better tribe than you all. So God bless you all, and we appreciate you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. This was
Thank you, ma'am.
time well spent.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dumebi. Thank you,
everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a time well spent.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you for
Bye. I
having
enjoyed
us.
Good night,
myself.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Fumi.
Bye.
Hold on before you guys leave.
Bye.
4 minutes
Love
before you
you.
guys leave.
Love you.
Let's take
Hello,
group
Lua.
Let's take
Bye.
group photos.
Excellency, ma. Thank you, ma.
Let's
Good night,
take
ma.
group photos
Inka.
before you leave.
Inka, Kimade. Bye.
Let's take group
Bye.
photos
Bye.
before you
We
leave.
love you.
Bye.
Thank
Let's
you.
go.
Fumi, we love you.
We
Please
love
don't
you
know
from
your
Grandma.
camera.
Ashley, we love you. We
Bye.
love you. Sarah, we
Are you
love you.
giving us a
Boye.
item
I love
7
you.
before
Bye,
we
sir.
leave?
Turn on your camera.
I love you. Item 7
Tina,
will be sent
au
to your houses.
revoir.
Tracy will send item 7 to your
Au
houses.
revoir.
Hello,
Ó
Lua. Mo ti dá ẹ
dàárọ̀.
lóhùn now.
Please turn on your cameras. Let's quickly take a group photo.
Okay, please turn on your camera so we can take a group photo.
Mrs. Agbaje, how are you, ma? I don't
Bye,
think I've met
ma.
you before.
There's no light here.
Ekale,
My
ma.
pleasure meeting you,
I
ma.
don't think I've met you before, but it's nice meeting you.
My pleasure, ma. I've been on the platform, ma.
Okay. Ekushe, ma. Well done, ma. Folarin, you are there.
Thank you, ma.
Without your glasses, you look different.
I'm in camp. I'm in redemption camp.
Oh, you're in redemption camp, ma. Okay, ma.
Yes, ma.
Mrs. Oshodi, I see you.
Yes, ma.
Shelelewa. Let's jump by. Let's glow.
Thank you, ma.
Ekushe.
God
Well
bless you,
done,
ma.
Mrs. Oshodi. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you. Mr. Okeawosa, good evening to you. Ekushe,
Thank you, ma.
thank you very much. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Thank you.
Good night, ma.
Good night,
Please
ma.
don't forget the questions, and then hopefully we should be able to answer. So some people said they need fertilizer in Ekpe. We actually have some fertilizers that if we have the contact and we can do a needs assessment, we can give them some fertilizers.
That is Ayakole. Ayakole, please drop your phone number.
Yeah,
Yes, if you can drop your
Great.
contact.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, this is an E-Hangout session, so there's no menu. Because I see somebody say, where's our father boy? Item number 7. You eat it virtually. So, virtual eating of a father rice. Thank you very much. And for me, someone is asking, how can they join the club? That is Miss Koforo Laki.
Okay, please,
Miss Koforo Laki, are you not an Ministry of Agri staff?
No, I'm not.
You look like
Farmers
okay.
Initiative.
Okay, you actually look like one of our staff.
I
That's why.
visited you from She Farmers Initiative.
Oh, okay, ma.
Okay.
No problem. And so Fumi will get your contact and she will be able to assist.
Please drop
Thank
your phone
you.
number in the chat box.
Okay, I'm dropping it right now.
Yes. Thank you very much. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Have a
Thank you, ma.
wonderful night.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you for taking time out. Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night,
Good
ma.
night, ma.
Bye. Good night for me.
Mama Tamsi, you are very early. Welcome.
Who is just joining?